What's going on, guys? It's Tommy, and I'm coming at you with an action figure review. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Hasbro The Black Series First Order Stormtrooper with a whole bunch of accessories. So this was a figure pack that came out years and years ago. I was never able to get my hands on this because I wasn't a collector at the time. I didn't get into the Black Series myself heavily until about 2019, 2020. Because of this, there was a lot of figures I missed out on. Recently, my good friend and good friend of the channel, 212 Hunter, went out to some local collector spots out where he lives in Wisconsin, found this set, which is very, very cool, and he found it for a really good deal. So I asked him if he could pick it up for me, and he did. So thank you, Hunter. You're a great friend. So essentially what you have here is this is a slip cover, and you have on the front the Black Series logo, as well as some awesome illustrations of 3 different looks for the First Order Stormtrooper. On the back here, it kind of gives a spoiler for the whole thing. We have like a ton of accessories for this guy. You've got yourself a vest setup, you've got a backpack, binoculars, you've got a riot shield, the baton, the longer rifle, the blaster pistol, the tripod setup for the biggest blaster, the FWMB. This is an awesome pack, and I can't believe I only got it for 30 bucks. Basically got this whole thing for not even the retail value nowadays of a quote-unquote deluxe figure. So I'm really happy to have this set in hand, and I'm super excited to check it out. What you do is you pull up the slip cover here. You have this awesome setup here where there's a Velcro door with the First Order insignia there, and on the back you just get some more artwork, which again is cool. They didn't even have to go that far with it. You open it up, and here is the figure with all these accessories. Needless to say, this looks amazing, and I can't wait to bust this thing open, so let's do just that. All right, gang, here is the plethora of accessories laid out around the figure. So first off, we're gonna take a look at these accessories one by one before we check out the Stormtrooper. Some of the most basic accessories this guy comes with are, I believe this is the SE44C blaster pistol, done in a white sculpt with some black paint applications here. Just a standard sidearm that can be attached to the character's leg. You have the blaster rifle here, just the standard. I think this is the F11D. I could be wrong. It might not be the E11. I think it's the F11. And again, just that cool color scheme, black sculpt with the white paint applications, it looks like. And just again, just super cool, very nice paint applications here, pretty standard still. And then you have the bigger blaster, which showed up a lot less for the accessories, but still showed up some, the FWMB. You can see that it's missing the bottom portion here, and that's because that's that tripod setup over there. I'll show you how to assemble that in just a little bit, but again, same kind of color scheme here. You have the pieces for the tripod here so that you can set that up and have the blaster almost like a mobile turret. We have something that's really cool, these little tactical binocs here. These are huge, and I really like them. Too bad the character probably won't be able to even hold them because the articulation on the figure is so bad. You have a little extra ammo pouch. This ammo pouch is part of this little harness setup here that you use for the figure to give him that extra ammo pouches and everything like that, and you can even hook up a blaster to his back. I stand corrected, you'd hook up this backpack to his back. Again, lots of really nice paint details here. I wish that they would do like a clone trooper or an Imperial Stormtrooper version of this, because it's such a cool concept, and I don't know why they haven't done it since. And then of course you also get the riot shield here with the usual, it's got the little handhelds on the back and the paint applications. And of course, if you're gonna have that, you also need the riot baton. This is an awesome accessory. I have a First Order Stormtrooper on my shelf that only has the shield and the baton, and that's a great character right there. And here is the Stormtrooper here. So this guy came out, he's had several releases in the Black Series. Obviously, when the Black Series was coming out during the release of the sequel trilogy movies. This one, if you don't know, is a pretty not great action figure, especially when compared to 2024 standards of articulation. As far as paint applications go, you're going to see bits of black strewn throughout the white sculpt that makes up the majority of the figure, including, on the thermal detonator, some of the pouches along the belt, all different things like that. I like the two-tone that they add here. It's a little bit more detail, a little bit more intricate than the Imperial Stormtrooper, which makes sense as this is like 30 to 45 years later later in the Star Wars timeline, you'd think that, or hope at least, that some armor would have some improvements. As far as the articulation goes on this guy, you have a single ball jointed head. You can get a little bit of down out of it. You can get not very much up at all. A little bit of tilt maybe, and then some right and some left, of course. The shoulders do not have any kind of butterfly joint or anything. The shoulders go up to just about 90 degrees, and they do swivel a full 360 degrees. The elbows are a single jointed elbow, which gets you to maybe 45 degrees. This is not a joke. This is all you get as far as the arm movement. And there is a swivel at the elbow. There is a swivel at the wrists, as well as a horizontal wrist joint on both of the wrists. He does have a ball joint to the midsection, which does have some really good range. And then he has a ball joint at the hips. Luckily, all the stuff hanging down off the belts gets out of the way very naturally, so you can move those hips around. There is a cut for a thigh swivel about halfway down the thigh, and then of course you have these really ugly pinned double jointed knees. They do have some decent range of motion to them, however they just look really ugly from the front. And then of course down here at the ankle you have that forward facing pin for rocker, and there is a hinge at the ankle which gets you a little bit of forward and plenty of back. Overall, I think our biggest issue with this is going to be kind of picking a kit for him as to what we would rather, have him set up with. So I'm going to pull off some of my other Stormtroopers from the shelf and kind of show you what I already have. So as far as First Order Stormtroopers go, I do have this one came out with the Rise of Skywalker wave. So this guy already has the Electro Baton and the Riot Shield. However, this guy is on a newer sculpt, so he has some improved elbows, which give, as you can see, much better articulation there. So I think we're going to rule out that setup for this guy. And then I also have two of just the standard First Order Stormtrooper with just the regular blaster and then the pistol sidearm on his leg. So we could probably rule that out as well. We're not just going to make him a basic trooper. So let's kind of see what else we can play around with here. I'm really leaning towards the heavy blaster and just kind of kitting this guy out as a heavy trooper, making him very different on the shelf. So that fits in very nicely. And then I think that this part maybe goes in right here. Yeah, so the back of the tripod goes there so that, you can then you can have that all set up like a little miniature turret, I guess. It's a good looking accessory and I think it'll look nice on the shelf. Let's try and figure out how this strapping works. So I think all you have to do is kind of feed one arm through. It kind of goes on like a bulletproof vest does in real life. Well, I should say some bulletproof vests. Some bulletproof vests, they do zip up from the middle. So this is kind of the vibe I'm getting from that. That actually went on really easily and it actually looks very natural on the figure as well, so I'm actually digging this look here. Plus, there are Stormtroopers in the movies that have this heavier design, so I kind of have been wanting this look for a Stormtrooper, and I think it'll make him look different enough. Now I just got to figure out what I do with this extra little ammo pouch here. Oh, so it's actually just like a hook, so it just kind of hooks around the strapping. So pretty sure it goes on that side there. So there we go. Now we've got a very heavily armored Stormtrooper. Then of course we want to put the backpack on here, and they do set the peg up in a way that you know exactly which side is the correct side. Luckily it doesn't seem like he's incredibly back heavy, so you don't have to lurch him forward to get him to hold on to that. Next up, what we're going to do is we'll just put this blaster pistol in the little slot on the leg, which that was a feature I always liked. And I think we're going to forego the extra little blaster here, which I think actually you could probably put this. Doesn't this have a slot too? You could put this on his leg. Oh, look at that. You could even clip that little blaster on his leg. Maybe I'll do that. That looks cool. Maybe give him that as opposed to just the blaster pistol. All right, all the official images that I'm seeing for this actually just show the blaster pistol on the leg, so I think I'm going to go with that. But it is cool they give you the option to put the bigger blaster on the leg. And now I think we'll just pose him up down here so he's kind of set up on the turret. We'll see how that looks. What sucks is that the articulation's really limited, so the way that I want to use this, I'm kind of unable to, because it's gonna look kind of dumb no matter how I put it up there, So from what I'm seeing, it looks like they kneel when they use it, and it doesn't even look like they use this little back rod piece they included either in the official reference photos and everything. So it looks like the blaster just sits like this, and he fires the blaster that way. Luckily, it looks like it's gonna line up so that everything kind of matches. It goes exactly where you need it to be. Cool, there we go. There he is. Look at that. That's a cool setup. And now we've got a couple Stormtroopers for our first order ranks that are all in different little setups, and it's going to look great on the shelf. So I definitely would recommend getting this, because you can take the accessories from one of these packs and apply them to multiple other first order stormtroopers, and it's going to just really diversify your ranks if that's something that you army build. And with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did and you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to Blitz Transmissions. I've got awesome content coming out all the time. Make sure to check out my social media. All that will be linked in the description below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you for the next one. May the Force be with you.